What is up? It's Box Office Buddies. You know how it is. Different movie, different buddy. I've reviewed a movie with my buddy Nick before. Old school style. This was right at the beginning. We checked out King Arthur. And, new movie that came out, Napoleon. And I knew as soon as this movie was coming out, it had to be done with you. Like, there was no one else that I wanted to review Napoleon with as much as I wanted to review it with my buddy Nick. He's like your favorite historical figure.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, so I've heard him talking about him many times before. And yeah, when this movie was coming out, I was pumped, and I was like, dude, we gotta go. And Joaquin Phoenix, Vanessa Kirby, directed by Ridley Scott. This is the first major Hollywood movie about Napoleon.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
They've done stuff in France, obviously.
Yeah, like French movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Hollywood, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
But this is like huge budget, major production value, and everything.
Yeah, it shows. It shows.
So, our first major Hollywood Napoleon movie. What'd you think?
Production-wise, it was really good.
Okay.
When it comes to the picture, like, it was well filmed.
Yeah, great cinematography.
Cinematography was amazing.
Joaquin
set
design
Phoenix is an amazing actor. So good. I really like him. I think a lot of people like him. I mean, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
For me,
I'd say he's top 5 right now.
Yeah. For me, the movie, like, the vibe was really good. Everything was, like, on point when it comes to cinematography. But the story itself kind of fell short into, like, portraying who Napoleon was. And I find, like, Joaquin Phoenix actually made that movie for me. So when I got out of the theater, I was like, I enjoyed that movie, but I think the reason why I enjoyed it is because I enjoyed Joaquin's performance.
Okay.
But the movie itself, after, the more I was thinking about it, the more I was like, I feel like I left kind of like empty in a way. Like, I thought I was going to learn more about Napoleon. I thought I was going to get to kind of experience. I was excited about it because I was excited about having that Hollywood version as well, because it's like big and just like super American, you know. So I was really excited about that, and I thought they were going to really do justice to who Napoleon was, but for me it didn't hit the mark at all.
Okay. I'm pretty much in agreement with you completely. Visually, there was a lot of impressive stuff. Great set pieces. A lot of the battle scenes were very impressive, memorable.
I like the music. I like the music choice in the moment that they chose the music.
Music was interesting.
The music was like, the way it was done, it was well done.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, really impressive to see visually. However, before I address your points about the story, which is I think the main thing we could talk about, I will say that, again, directed by Ridley Scott, also the guy who did Gladiator, and Gladiator also the movie that basically made Joaquin Phoenix's career. Like, that was his first major role.
That's true. I didn't even.
It launched his career.
I completely forgot about that. It's true.
Yeah. So when you compare Gladiator to this, it's not at that level.
No.
I think Gladiator is one of the 10 best movies of all time. This is not in that ballpark. So it's disappointing in that sense, because you had that potential with those two people, Ridley Scott and Joaquin.
That's what I was expecting. That's what I was expecting. And I was so excited.
So there is a lot of disappointment. I don't want to be too critical because, like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's just not what I expected on a cinematic level.
Yeah.
And then also on the historical level, which you were kind of trying to get into, and that's what I think is the main thing we can talk about with this. My biggest complaint is not so much anything outside of what they even chose to talk about. So the focus of this movie is mostly Napoleon's relationship with his wife, Josephine.
Yeah.
And people don't really want to go see a movie about Napoleon simping over his wife.
No. That's the thing that kind of I thought was weird is because I think it was based off of letters. I don't really I don't really know about his relationship with Josephine, but I think they were trying to show a different side of Napoleon, and they were trying to show like kind of like the relationship that he had with Josephine. And there's a lot of accurate things in the movie,
Exactly.
in terms of like the relationship and how it was happening, but there's also some things that are weird, like that kind of like were, I don't know what you call them, I guess they were like choices that the directors made that for himself that I thought was a bit off, in the sense that Napoleon, I guess Josephine must have had a strong character if she would have been with someone like Napoleon, but I just think that it was exaggerated a little bit, and the thing is, I wouldn't have minded so much if they hadn't only focused on that, because I feel like the whole movie was focused on his relationship with Josephine, and the rest were just kind of a side story, right? And the thing is that Napoleon's entire story is so much bigger than what they showed. And they missed so many things. There's so many facts that they missed out on that could have been ultra interesting. And also, like, I mean, he's done so many good things, and I feel like at the end of the movie, it comes out kind of like portraying him as a bad person, because like war is bad and stuff like that. Like, I get it, it's terrible, but he was like very ambitious, and I don't find that like the ambition that he had, and also the charisma, he was extremely charismatic. All the charisma, the ambition, and he was extremely smart as well. I think he studied military tactics, and he was one of the best in his class in mathematics and in history, and he was extremely intelligent, and they kind of missed that part. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they touch on it, right? Like they show that he had a really smart military mind.
Yeah.
That he had great tactics,
but it's
and
one of the,
he was a strategist.
Yeah.
The opening battle scene is one I really, really like, where, you know, he takes over that town occupied by the British, and then turns the cannons around to the British fleet. Super smart, right?
Yeah.
And you see that, like, that's kind of like how they kick off the movie, like, this is how brilliant this guy was. But then from there, they don't build on that. They don't show how difficult of a task it is to conquer the world, which he almost did.
Yeah. Well, Europe, mostly Europe.
Yeah,
he went all the way to America for Louisiana as well.
You see him in Africa.
And then Africa,
you see him
everywhere. Yeah. Like, he's almost like he wanted the world, and that's the thing. Like, it's a rare thing, especially during that time. Like, he caused a lot of issues to a lot of people.
Right, and like you said, he even made it to the U.S. Like, not physically, but.
Yeah. With his ambition, like, he got to Louisiana.
So, and this guy contributed a lot to French culture and to
le Code Civil de Napoleon, like based on common sense, right? And that's, to this day, that's still in France. He also revolutionized the education system, and I mean, he did a lot of cool things. He did a lot of good things for France. And for the world.
And even his global influence.
100%, yeah.
It's not addressed really in this movie. And that is my biggest issue.
Yeah.
Is that you have, like I said, the first major Hollywood movie about him. If we had a movie where they already showed that, like, 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, yeah, we've seen the movie. And then this movie was marketed as, like, the side of Napoleon you didn't see in the past, you know? Cool. Like, fine, I'll watch that movie too.
Yeah.
But for this to be our major cinematic exposure to Napoleon, I find disappointing.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen more.
Number one, you don't really see his ascent to how he became a military leader, right? So he's just there.
He's already a commander at that point.
Yeah. And so because of that, you don't like kind of get to understand like why he got there and how from really nothing he came from really. It doesn't seem.
And that's the slogan of the the slogan of the movie. He came from nothing. He conquered everything.
Yeah.
And you don't see him really. You see him. He's already mid-level. And
more than mid-level at this point. Like he's already high up there,
right?
Because he has the influence to get all these men.
So that's the thing, is like it's interesting to me, because my favorite parts of the movie are not what the movie was actually about, which is like the relationship between the two leads, right? For me, the most interesting parts of the movie were these snippets that you get throughout. And that being said, he's amazing.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he I think he makes the movie worth seeing, because without him, without that performance,
No, it wouldn't have been a
it's
good movie.
it's not great.
But
And
the
Vanessa
actors
Kirby's
were
good too.
Yeah, the actors
The
were
one who
good.
plays Josephine, she
100%.
was very good as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can say that. Like I said, visually nice, good set pieces, some nice moments throughout the movie, but really kind of a letdown in terms of what I would have wanted from a Napoleon movie.
Yeah, I feel like if you would go into that movie, you would kind of, not knowing about Napoleon, you would come out not really knowing much more about him. And if you go in, basically already knowing a little bit about him and wanting to kind of feel what it was like, or kind of like recreate that historical figure in a way, seeing that, if you want to go in trying to see a recreation of that historical figure, you end up being disappointed coming out of the movie. But if you just want to be entertained and you like Joaquin Phoenix, like, it's definitely not a bad movie per se.
Not a bad movie,
But,
again. It's just, I've never been so disappointed, but still been able to say, like, yeah, all right.
It's because of the performance, and also like the director's not bad, and the cinematography is
He knows what he's
amazing.
doing. It's just,
Yeah.
it wasn't what it should have been, in both our opinion, I guess. So,
Yeah, unfortunately.
yeah. Any last words, or
No?
France, Liberty, Josephine?
No, what was it? It was France Army Josephine.
Is it Army? I thought
Yeah.
it was Liberty. Okay. Yeah.
France Army Josephine.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for checking out the review, and thanks for, after
Yeah, it's been a while.
almost
huh?
a 6-year hiatus,
Yeah.
making your big comeback from your exile.
From my exile.
Yeah. And yeah, it was fun doing this review, and we'll be seeing you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications when a new video comes out. Comment, and give us a like. Share if you really want people to know what's up. Catch you next time.